How's it going, everyone? I'm here with my Battleground 2014 PPV Predictions. Battleground is live on PPV tomorrow night, as well as the WWE Network. And going into Battleground this year, I gotta say, this card looks really good in my opinion. I'm almost looking forward to every single match on this card, which is pretty rare to say on pay-per-views nowadays, because usually you'll have like a couple matches looking forward to, and the rest of the card is kind of like. But this card, to me, I'm actually interested in every single match. Well, maybe besides one or two, but I'm actually interested in almost the entire card, which is pretty rare, so I'm really looking forward to the pay-per-view. I think it's going to be great. I think it's a very solid card here, which is kind of weird, because you'd think, like, with Battleground, with only 3 weeks of pay-per-view build, they're not going to put any effort into the show, especially with SummerSlam next month, but they actually end up putting on a pretty solid card here, and I'm actually looking forward to the pay-per-view. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Big step up from last year's Battleground, so hopefully WWE delivers here with this pay-per-view being, really good. But on the pay-per-view itself, we have 8 matches scheduled. However, only 7 will be on the main card. Of course, we have the 30-minute kickoff show before the pay-per-view starts, which will feature Naomi versus Cameron, the breakup of the fucking Dactyls. Don't think anyone's going to be tuning into this kickoff, considering the match is going to be pretty bad. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty bad kickoff show this for the Battleground this year. So, yeah, that's whatever. But going on to the main show, 7 matches, stacked card in my opinion. Of course, we'll be having a Battleground Battle Royal. I guess they want to call each... I guess for Battleground each year, they're going to pick one random match and name it a Battleground match. Last year we had the Battleground Hardcore Rules match. Now this year we have a Battleground Battle Royal. So I guess every year we're going to be having some kind of Battleground match. But yeah, Battleground Battle Royal for the vacant Intercontinental Championship. Because, of course, Bad News Barrett was injured. Therefore, he
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Had to vacate the Intercontinental Championship, which sucks. But what are you going to do? Injuries happen all the time. New Intercontinental Champion guaranteed to be crowned here. Bad News Barrett will be at the pay-per-view, however, to present the Intercontinental Championship to the new Intercontinental Champion. So it'll be good to see Bad News Barrett at the pay-per-view. We'll be having the WWE Tag Team Championships being defended. The Usos taking on the Wyatt families, Luke Harper and Erick Rowan once again, but this time in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm a huge fan of 2 out of 3 falls matches. I think they're always fun to watch. I mean, look at the Brian Sheamus one from Extreme Rules. That was an excellent match, and they're just fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to that match for that aspect alone. Speaking of Wyatts, we'll be having Chris Jericho taking on Bray Wyatt. Chris Jericho making his return on pay-per-view against Bray Wyatt. This match, not really looking forward to it. I've seen their NXT match from last year, and that match was bad. And I don't think this match is going to be very good. I mean, hopefully it surprises me, but I don't know. Bray Wyatt's a guy, like I said, just... To me, he's not as good as everyone makes him out to be. That's just my opinion. But hopefully Jericho can make it alright. I'm not really looking forward to that match. We'll be having the Divas Championship. AJ Lee defending against Paige, which should be a solid Divas match if given time. We'll be having Jack Swagger taking on Rusev. USA taking on Russia, even though Rusev's not Russian, but it doesn't matter. Nothing. No, we don't need logic in wrestling. So yeah, that should actually be pretty good. I think Rusev's actually had good matches with Big E, so I think him and Swagger can put on a decently good match. So I'm kind of looking forward to that match. And then we're going to the main event matches. We'll be having Dean Ambrose taking on Seth Rollins, which to me is the main event. I'm looking forward to this match the most. They're absolutely going to tear the house down. Hopefully they're given time. I don't think the feud's going to end here. I definitely think it'll go into SummerSlam with a stipulation. But they're going to tear the house down. If you've seen their FCW matches, they were absolutely amazing. So hopefully this match can be... I don't think it'll be on the level of their FCW matches, but I think this will be an awesome match. It's definitely going to steal the show in my opinion. And then on to the main event, which will be a Fatal 4-Way match. WWE World Heavyweight Champion John Cena defending his title against Kane, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns, which should be a very fun Fatal 4-Way match. I'm also a huge fan of Fatal 4-Way matches for the aspect that they're fun. They're very fun matches. Either man can win. One guy can pin one guy, or another guy can pin another guy. So they're usually very fun to watch. So that's why I like Fatal 4-Way matches as well. So yeah, that'll do it for the Battleground card. Solid card in my opinion. And let's stop wasting any time and jump right into the predictions.
Kickoff, Cameron versus Naomi. This is going to be a pretty bad match, and thankfully it's on the kickoff. I'm going to go ahead and pick Naomi, get the win here. I don't think it make any sense at all for Cameron to get the victory, considering she's horrible in the ring and Naomi is actually pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Naomi, get the victory here. Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. To me, this match could go either way. I can see either guy really winning this, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Chris Jericho to pick the victory here. I don't know, the Wyatts have really, have pretty much dominated this entire feud so far, and I just don't see Wyatts end up getting the victory just yet. I think this feud will continue most likely on the SummerSlam, so I think Jericho's going to get the victory here, and maybe the Wyatts attack him afterwards, leading to a rematch at SummerSlam, which, where Bray gets the win there. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Jericho. I think it makes more sense for him to win to continue the feud, because if Bray Wyatt wins, I don't know how they're going to continue the feud. I knew Jericho's going to want revenge, but I think it'd be a more interesting story for Jericho to get the victory here and Bray Wyatt to get the victory in the next match. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Chris Jericho to pick up the win. Battleground Battle Royal for the Vacant Intercontinental Championship. This match, I think only 3 guys really have a chance of winning this, being Cesaro, Ziggler, and Miz. With that being said, I'm going to pick Cesaro to become the new Intercontinental Champion here. I don't know, I just don't really see anyone else winning it. Ziggler, I'd love to see him win it. I think he'd be a phenomenal Intercontinental Champion. But I think Cesaro, you know, the guy, I think he's the guy that been wanting to push, but he's never been in the right position for, like, you know, the world title or whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Cesaro to win this and become the brand new Intercontinental Champion. Jack Swagger versus Rusev. I know they've been, you know, pushing Swagger as a threat to Rusev, but I think Rusev's going to end up getting the victory here. I just don't see him, you know, I don't see Swagger being the first guy to beat him. I know it makes sense of the story, but I don't know, I just don't think Swagger is the right guy to be the first person to beat him. I think this match should be, you know, okay. You know, Rusev's matches with Big E have been pretty good, so I think this match will be, you know, good as well. But at the end of it, I'm going to end up picking Rusev to get the victory over Jack Swagger. 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. WWE Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. I'm actually going to pick the Wyatts to get the victory here to become the new Tag Team Champions. I don't think if they're going to win it, they would have this rematch, because, you know, if they're having this rematch, I think it's pretty obvious that the Wyatts are going to win. I'd be pretty surprised if the Usos retain here. I was actually kind of surprised they retained at Money in the Bank, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Wyatts to become the new Tag Team Champions. I think this match is going to be great. Could be a show stealer, but definitely Wyatts to become the new Tag Team Champions. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. I think this is kind of like in the same situation as the Jericho Wyatt match. I think regardless of what happens here, this, you know, feud's going to continue into SummerSlam with another match. So it doesn't really matter to me who's going to win this, but I do think Dean Ambrose is going to win. I think that, you know, he's been pretty much getting his ass kicked majority of the feud, especially this past Monday and Raw, getting the curve stomp onto the crate or whatever. So I definitely think Ambrose needs to pick up the victory here, or this match can end in a disqualification or countout. You know, to me, either way, I think it's going to continue no matter what. So I don't know. I think it'd be better to have Ambrose win here and, you know, have Rollins want to get retribution at SummerSlam. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pick Dean Ambrose to pick up the victory here against Seth Rollins. Divas Championship match. Divas Champion AJ Lee versus Paige. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Paige actually ended up winning the title back, but I'm going to go ahead and pick AJ to retain. It wouldn't surprise me if they did the whole storyline where they keep playing, you know, hot potato with the Divas title going back and forth. But I don't know. I think that, you know, I don't know. I just don't see that happening, but it wouldn't surprise me if they end up doing that. But I think this match is going to be great if it's given the time. But I do think AJ Lee is going to retain the Divas Championship. And then the main event, Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. WWE World Heavyweight Champion John Cena versus Kane versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. I think it's a pretty simple pick here. John Cena is definitely going to retain. Don't see anyone beating him for the title in this match. I think John Cena versus Brock Lesnar is pretty much a lock for SummerSlam, so I think definitely John Cena is going to retain here. Don't see Rollins cashing in at all after this match, regardless who wins. Reigns, he's not getting the title. Orton's not getting it, and Kane's definitely not getting it, so it's definitely John Cena retaining here. This should be a very fun Fatal 4-Way, I think, though. Fatal 4-Ways are usually very fun matches, so I'm looking forward to this for that aspect alone. But I do think John Cena will retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Well guys, hope you guys enjoyed my WWE Battleground 2014 pay-per-view predictions. Battleground is live pay-per-view as well as the WWE Network tomorrow night. Hopefully you guys are tuning in. I'm definitely tuning into the show. Review will be up sometime after the pay-per-view as well. And thank you guys for watching this video. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys later.